So I have a confession. I've been seeing somebody, and it's not ideal, and it's not somebody new. Um, so but this person basically said like, "Hey, let's get to know each other better." And I also knew that by starting up something with this person, that I would be slowing down my downward spiral because I am not particularly connected to this person. Um, when you've been alone for a bit, one of the things you miss is being held, feeling wanted. If you get that all the time, it's pretty easy to be single. If you know that people want you, it's an ego boost. Makes you feel less alone in this world. So he serves a purpose in that vein. And I don't know what he wants. Um, Whether he wants something more eventually, or he just wants like this a stable of what's now, you know, or if he even thinks of the future, because I try to get information out of him and it's like pulling teeth. And as a demisexual and a sapiosexual, that is just not going to work for me. In the end, I need somebody who's going to be able to hold a conversation with me. They're going to excite my mind, which in turn will excite my body. Otherwise, I'm just, if I get intimate with that person, I'm just playing a role and pretty much getting nothing out of it. And that's not their fault. It's not. It's that I'm not connected. And I already got that burst of being wanted, and by somebody that I would actually want. So he wanted to make plans for Saturday, and the plans seemed pretty good. So I was like, okay, sounds good. Even threw in the we don't have to have sex, which I have a feeling if I said, oh, we won't, then something would come up. So I am going to test him. And before anybody comes at me for playing games or being manipulative, testing somebody, depending on how you test them, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a boundary I'm setting for myself to say whether I'm going to walk away or continue. And the test is having a conversation, like getting a good read on him. That's the test. That's the test. Is that he shows up and does what he said he would do, which he said he would come over after work. He works overnights, and we would sleep. And then later we'd go out. So I expect those things to happen because I need people in my life who are like me, who will do what they say they're going to do. When they make plans, they keep those plans. And then, now this was not part of the test, okay? But my son did not get to spend much time with me last weekend because I had plans that freaking fell through. I could have been spending time with my son, but the plans that I had, the person didn't bother to call and say, It's not happening. So I took my son home. I woke my son up early and took him to his dad's house because I had plans. And those plans didn't happen. And I was like, I could have been spending this time with my son. So no way I'm canceling out on my son again, especially not over a dude. So I told him, I said, hey, my son will be here. He's like, I don't know about meeting your son. And I'm like, he's just a person. I said, I'm going to introduce you as my boyfriend so he won't ask too many questions, you know, because he understands that word. What he doesn't understand is like, he was like, Dad says he's not with such and such. And yet when she spent the night at the house, she spent the night in his room. How is she not his girlfriend? So with my son, just make it simple. You know, it's just simple. Just say, that's the boyfriend. And my son will do his own thing. So if this person cancels on me, done. I'm just done. Because he's known about that my son would be here. That my son has his own room. That, you know, he's known about that. And hasn't said, I'll come over when he's not there. Because my son is liable to be here every single weekend. I let my son decide. This is not somebody who's going to be left alone with my son. So, you know, if he cancels with the excuse of, well, I don't feel right about meeting your kid, bye ya. If he just doesn't show up, bye ya. If he decides that we are not going to go out and do something, bye ya. If we can't sit and have a conversation where I get to know about him, like who he is, you know, like, hey, when you're watching TV, what do you watch? What do you listen to? What do you play on your PS5? Like, what are, you know, who are you? What are your interests and hobbies? Let's see he doesn't do TikTok, but he does reels on Facebook that he watches. So it's like, let's see your reel feed. Because that says a lot about, like, if you watch somebody's FYP, it says a lot about what they watch. And gives you an idea of interests. If all he wants to do is cuddle and kiss and try to get in my pants the whole time, and I have to carry the conversation, I'm done. Because he doesn't have a lot of time for me. And I feel like I could be doing something else. I mean, just being honest, like, me deciding to end things, even if he decided to end things, it's not going to hurt me because I'm not connected. And I know that that is not what I want in my life. And, you know, I'll be damned if I'm going to, like, be a booty call and the only pleasure I get out of it is the cuddle afterwards. You know, that's just not going to work for me. It's not. And I'm just being honest here, you know. I want to feel something. And I just don't. And I want to see that, like, he does what he says he's going to do. I need dependable people around me because I'm a dependable person. And, yeah, so that's what's going on. We shall see.